Hello and welcome, everybody. You know, come on, cuddle a little closer. There we go. Yeah. Hello, we're back. We're back with another best of one for you. ESL One Katowice group stage continues. Lacoste, who do we have? What have we got?
We have the NA sensation, OpTic Gaming, with the PPD in the chair. Man, you gotta love PPD. Sadly, for most of the people, you can't see the lobby chat, which is pretty much hilarious, especially when PPD joins in. But you also have Ramses on another side, spitting some random stuff, which doesn't make sense to me, but still, it's funny.
Yeah, this lobby chat is under NDA. We're not allowed to release it. Not allowed to leak screenshots. You've all seen PPD's lobby chats before, I'm sure. This one was funny. This one was very, very amusing. Lots to talk about. You know, dyeing each other's hair. We're not going to talk about which hair or where, but we'll talk about the green wall as well. PPD seems pretty optimistic and lively and ready for this, and their draft equally seems very, very forward. Seems very, very unusual. Not really the gimmicky kind of normal openers that we're used to seeing. You know, your Sand Kings, your Disruptors, your Nagas, which VP do go for themselves. And we know all about that. We've seen a ton of it. We've seen what VP are doing here. What are OpTic doing? Is this going to be a huge split map gameplay style?
I think they want to go for something early on with the Keeper of the Light, have a 20-minute lineup with the Necro books. I've seen a couple of OpTic games lately. They love to run Pugna. The one thing I remember with Keeper of the Light and Pugna combo, it was invented like, I think it was G, and his whole team played it. It's a double blast, especially when you're playing ahead. You just use double blast, the tower just melts.
I remember back in Dota 1 when we were playing, you know, some of the in-house games. If we had limited time, or it took too long to challenge someone, or there weren't enough players, and we were waiting for a long time for the 10 out of 10, we'd often run strats where you just send 5 people mid. You'd have a Nature's Prophet, an Enigma, a Kotl, a Pugna, and then some other random hero like a Lone Druid, and you just go 5 men into a lane, push towers, Kotl, Pugna, just double blast everything, double axes, double everything. But yeah, aggressive dual lanes we've seen a lot with Beastmaster, IO Beastmaster, Naga Beastmaster, like we were talking about in the previous game. In this style, Kotl can kind of blast back the supports, while Beastmaster with the axes focuses on CSing and harassing back the carry.
Well, it's a really good combo also because of the mana. Kotl give me mana. Beastmaster can use axes even more often. The damage that if he hits 3 axes on one hero, that's pretty much a dead hero. I love the builds that Beastmaster go for these days. Before you could go just for the zoo build. Let's say on level 7 you have a level 4 boar and an extra creep, but then you're just a guy with a creep. That's pretty much it. With maxing axes you have actually enough damage to kill the supports and harass, outpush the lanes.
Farm ancients, farm stacks. And then you're a man with a Helm of the Dominator with a creep that has levels to put into the creeps to get a second creep and the boar as well. So you're running around with like a centaur and a satyr, doing all sorts of crazy stuff. Oh, you were right. 20 minutes, you said. Is that the timer we're going to put on this? Chen for OpTic as the Kotl Beastmaster. Oh, this is a huge pushing lineup.
Yeah, Chen is one of the heroes that is good against the Naga Siren and Disruptor combo because of the heal and the sandbag. After one hero is caught, he can just reinitiate the fight, send him back, then hero TP's back, or they don't even need to waste a TP because Kotl can use recall. So you just, let's say, send him back, recall immediately after he's done, then you can reset the fight. That's pretty good. I actually expect the OpTic to pick Pugna in the next stage, unless Virtus.pro wants to run it themselves.
What if they pick a Kunkka as well? Then you've got X Mark recall, Chen send back, TP scrolls.
That's one of the counters.
Oh, that'd be pretty good here, but VP slotting a Kunkka in would be pretty interesting to see.
Yeah, it feels like when you're playing, let's say, Kunkka against the Underlord, and you see them TPing, and they're all so happy we're gonna live. No, you're not. You're gonna miss the bus, and the bus is gonna spray you with the water while it's raining. Yeah, well, it's one of the perks of Dota too. That's why we love the game.
But yeah, Chen early on, sending back those creeps in the lane. So not only do they have the Beastmaster and potentially Kotl to play aggressively, they've got Chen to send back creeps mid and bottom lane to kind of mess with the equilibrium. Some fun, funky things they can do there. And VP, it feels like they're thinking long and hard about where they want to go to solo. Maybe a wrench has been thrown into his brain here. As they will come out now with the Queen of Pain. Aggressive laning hero. Is she going to be up and running in time? I mean, she can kind of move from lane to lane decently.
Yeah, they have no lockdown for Queen of Pain in both of the supports. Only thing they have is Beastmaster Roar, which is not enough against Queen of Pain, so they're gonna need to either pick something or just against her, or just, as I mentioned, let's say, pick a Pugna and run as 5, try to take tier 2 towers, and then just get her in front of the base, take those tier 3s as well. They have a lot of vision, from Chen creeps, Beastmaster summons, Hawk, Keeper of the Light with daytime blast,
and if he gets an Ags up and running as well, it's all a little bit insane.
Yeah, I wonder who they're gonna give a farm to. Let's say either Chen or Keeper of the Light. If they want to go for, let's say, Aghanim's Chen or Aghanim's Coddle. Coddle, in my opinion, is a better choice.
Is there any way that you see Kotl or Chen not being a support?
They can run one of those two as an offlaner, especially since they have a Chen. It's really doable. Let's say put a Keeper of the Light on an offlane, since he's gonna disrupt the creep equilibrium. You can have Keeper of the Light, and he's just gonna farm. I mean, he's Radiant, but he can still stack and farm that. It's not a triangle, it's just, what do you call it?
The double camp.
The double, I don't know,
it's
double
not,
angle, whatever.
It's not the God spot. It is not the dire side God spot. But there's the DK from OpTic. More pushing power. Still no Pugna, though, unfortunately. And up against the Queen of Pain has a pretty decent laning time as Virtus.pro try to progress their draft a bit here. I mean, what are we left with? There's no Gyrocopter out there to combo in with a Naga Disruptor. Is there something that you would particularly like to see in that core role? It's going to be a Lifestealer, so we get the answer for ourselves. That feels interesting to me, up against the Roar, up against the Chen army, the DK's high armor.
Yeah. Well, maybe they want to kill those creeps. Just infest one creep. Bam.
Gone.
Get Midas, kill 2 creeps. Just kidding. I don't see why Lifestealer, especially against the Roar, as you mentioned, Dragon Knight's high armor.
And how well do you think he's going to do in lane against a Beastmaster with all of that physical damage?
Oh, I was maybe expecting something to clear the Chen creeps. Gyro would have been a perfect pick, but OpTic banned it out.
Yeah.
Queen of Pain is a good pick. They need some AoE, some burst damage.
But yeah, for instance, why not a Sven, let's say? Something that can clear creeps pretty decently, has that high burst damage through physical to deal with a DK. Maybe could have been a good option, but we'll see what they do with the Lifestealer here. Like you said, it can infest creeps. You can potentially get away from these initiations if you get your Roar off, your Rage off in time before the Roar comes out. As Tide banned now by OpTic. VP left with an offlane to pick. Unless they do some funky stuff and, you know, offlane Pasha, Queen of Pain, a Lifestealer towards the safe lane. They do ban the Weaver for now, but their final pick, Lacoste, is going to be an Enchantress.
Enchantress against Chen. OpTic should go for, let's say, either CK or Pugna, in my opinion. Both of these heroes, they have nothing to control the illusions with. I mean, they can kill one with Glimpse. You don't want to waste it. Glimpse like that. Ange can take over the illusions with Enchant, but it could still be a good pick. Dragon Knight can be played on any lane, off lane, mid lane, safe lane, doesn't matter. So if they're gonna go all in, I would go for one of those picks. 5 seconds, we're gonna find out soon which hero is it gonna be.
Templar Assassin.
Choose your hero.
That's TA. Yeah. That's a CCNC TA against the Queen of Pain. Up against a Lifestealer, seems pretty good, but what are they looking at here? Radiant side, they are on the side of the map that has the double ancient camps, and we've seen the videos where you can stack them with traps yourselves, both at the same time. You can do some cool little things there, but I guess if you're going to be pressuring with your DK, your Beastmaster, and obviously the Chen and the Enchantress, TA will have some time to kind of catch up and farm in the jungle if things go poorly for her early on. I'm just looking at this, and I don't know who comes out on top. VP have some very good elements of teamfight control and setup for their kind of combo between Naga, Disruptor, Queen of Pain. bit of physical damage and tower hitting with the Raging Lifestealer. But I don't know if they've got enough, lane pressure and the ability to kind of keep this Chen and Kotal away from their lanes in that early stage of the game. But we'll see.
Yeah, this Enchantress pick should be interesting. That hero is going to be really hard to take down because of the heroes that they have no burst damage whatsoever. They have Dragon Knight, Kotal, and Chen. I think this is going to be a free Eng game.
Take a look at this. 3-3 on the Beastmaster up towards top. That will put Zai, Kotal down at bottom lane. Pycat with the safe lane DK, of course, the Templar Assassin, will be the one that heads to mid. And PPD playing the Chen. It's been a while. It has been a while. Over on Virtus.pro, early smoke coming out here. Very, very swiftly moving down to the bottom side of the map. It looks like Pasha did show himself to Zai there. Obsword's going to go down, block the camp, so Enchantress can't get the quick and easy creeps. Zai, quick on his feet with a Windlace up. The Kotal's a speedy old man. He does indeed. You are absolutely right. Solo catches there, and with the Enchant slow, they'll body block Zai and take the old man down into his grave for a good 5 seconds there.
That's a full magic wand for Eng if she wants it. The extra region, or if she wants to go for boots, maybe she can buy Orb of Venom just for extra harassment. I mean, she's playing against the DK, so that's not very effective. Yeah, that's the full magic wand. Plus, yeah, that's a lot of region on Enchantress.
Yeah, it definitely feels good. Enchant level 1. We'll go and look for a creep once they spawn. As the bounty runes gathered up here, 2 apiece. It appears as 3-3, as well as Zai get their top bounty runes on that.
Feels so sad, man, when you have to block your own camp against Eng.
Yeah. Oh, we can't stack and pull this large camp. We will keep the Enchantress away from those big creeps, though. So, laning setup. What are we looking at here? Beastmaster, Kotal, Chen sending creeps back. The range creep will return back to Fountain a second time, it appears there. Middle lane, TA, CNC in a 1 versus 2. Roger.
CCN.
CCN. He's getting punched down by Roger, it looks like. A little bit of trouble there. It's been a while since Naga has kind of sat mid and played this aggressive harassing role, but kind of natural for her.
Yeah, I like the build on Naga. You go for Stout Shield and Orb of Venom. This way you can harass way more and tank way more damage. Bottom lane DK against Enchantress. DK, once he gets a Quelling Blade, I think he can last hit every single creep. Pretty easy. Once he gets to level 3, Enchantress really can't harass her with 2 points in Dragon Blood.
It's like the race to phase boots here.
Yeah, both heroes are gonna farm on the bottom, same as in the previous game. We're just gonna focus on top lane, see what's happening there, just follow the Chen.
Well, for now, the quick tornado. Roger with no ensnare. Can't really do anything up against this. Tanking up the Whirlwind as the Naga Siren dropped to about half HP. Solo top takes a bit of a chip there from Zai's Kotal. So mid lane, a 2v2 for now. Just battling it out between these supports. But bottom lane, Enchant racing towards phase boots. DK, once he hits, level 3, very difficult to bring down. We've seen Timber Saws picked up against Enchantresses. DK, a very similar story. As Roger just going for a bit of a wander here all the way through the mid lane. Cuts across. Maybe looking for Zai, but Kotal pretty quick to move away from Solo now. A glimpse is available back into the waiting arms of Roger's ensnare, and Zai dies for a second time this game.
At one point I was like, why are Mud Golems not using Hurl Boulders? But it was not Chen's. They were just stacking the camp.
Building things up for later. Well, 12-2, 11-1. Radiant side farming incredibly well across their lanes so far. No one struggling a tiny bit, even with the help of Roger here. CNC doing very, very well, but now ensnared up with the Shadow Strike in. He's taking a chunk of damage, but in comes PPD, arriving with the Stomp. Forces the Blink from no one away towards classic regen rune. Perfect.
And I love the RNG. He's gonna get cancelled, actually. Oh, that feels so sad. Another stun in 5 seconds. Yeah, they won't dive it. 33 on top lane has a lot of farm. 2 points in Axis. Pressuring Ramses.
And this is what we expected. Beastmaster against the Lifestealer. A struggle for the Lifestealer in a lot of senses here as the blast from Kotal illuminates the Lifestealer, but they will get the cross kill there onto the Beastmaster. At least Zai can now try and run away, but the glimpse back into the waiting arms of Roger, and Snare is ready now. Throws it out onto the Kotl, but they may lack the damage to bring him down. The body blocks need to be good, and Roger, almost perfect, gets in front but slips away. Zai now walking back into PPD, will get sent home. And a nice play there from this Radiant side. Killing that lifestealer so very, very important early on.
Yeah, Keeper of the Light way too speedy. He had boots and windlace, pretty impossible to catch. Rams, I feel like when Ramses is pressured, sometimes he has a hard time recovering, even though he's one of my favorite players.
Yeah.
Like, not just players, one of the favorite personalities in Dota.
He's definitely a player that kind of gets set up a lot for in the games,
Yeah.
right? You know, he has a lot of influence in the draft for what hero he wants or what supports go in behind him. For now, trying to buy into the treads. Usually for me, I don't know about you, but when I see treads, I think of the Oliver build, I think of the Solar Crest, the Radiance, the S and Y kind of build on Lifestealer. Do you think that is a potential here, or do you think Armlet, the classic, is more likely?
Well, depends how this game is going. If the OpTic starts to pressure them, I don't think he can afford to go for a Radiance, but it could be the build if he has enough time. But his early game was sacked. What is he sitting at? 16 creeps?
Yeah.
Still
It's
not
reasonable.
too bad. Yeah.
And he has that one death to his name, which definitely hurts, and Zai continually illuminating this lane. Not going to catch Ramses just there, but you can see the power of this chakra magic with the wild axes doing so much work as Roger tried to come in for the backstab, but OpTic one step ahead every single time. No, he's coming in. PPD's Chen is there ready and waiting, and now you're left with natural 1v1s. CNC up against no one with a TA against Quap. 26 and 11 on CCNC's Templar Assassin. Absolutely cruising in this lane, but bottom lane they have the phase boots on the Enchantress now. So
well, CCNC is playing really well considering it was a dual lane with Naga Siren, Orb of Venom plus Shadow Strike from Queen of Pain.
yeah, his laning capabilities, I feel, definitely one of CNC's best traits, but he will get caught here by the rotating supports. He's tanky though, with a Fairy Fire still to go. He turns, fights against no one. Not only does he not die, but he's sent back to base by PPD with a TP still able to come back to lane. OpTic just seemed to be outplaying VP in this game as Ramses very nearly dies to the axes and then collects one more punch. Is the Illuminate going to hit? Not quite. He finds a little cut in the trees, but Zai will take the Lifestealer down as 3-3 cuts all the way back behind the tower. Zai just says, screw it, I'm a big man. I'll tank the tower. Don't worry. 3-3 gets himself away. But again, Ramses, all sorts of trouble.
My thrift rewarded.
Beastmaster with level 3 axes plus chakra, he can use it 3 times in a row. With Primal Roar, that's gonna hurt a lot, especially against Nikes. I mean, it's physical damage. Okay, PPD rotated bottom. They wanted to pressure the tower since DK is level 6.
Yeah, they've moved Ramses down here. I mean, he still has no boots. Okay, they're on the courier. Boots and a bit of regen for Ramses. Ferrying himself out some stuff as top lane Enchantress will come in to try and defeat 3-3. He's pretty speedy there with the phase boots. He turns, he knows he has to fight. The roar comes out onto the Pasha Enchantress, but Roger in trouble. Input the shot comes in, the one shot is there, and 3-3 survives just long enough to get himself a double kill.
What a play from 33.
Perfect plays.
He was not greedy to actually go just for the one kill. Nicely timed though. He saw a blast coming, so he decided to go for both of them.
He knew he wasn't escaping, right? He made the best out of a rough situation. Trades his life for the 2 supports.
Well, Pasha did what he needs to do. He rotated to top. That's a full drums on him. He needs to give Nikes some space.
Ramses definitely does need space, time, help, anything that he can possibly be given here by his team. No one taking a few little Sideblade splashes there as CCNC presses forward with the damage. A blink quickly from no one, though, will keep him at arm's reach from the Centaur and the TA coming in, denying out creeps and all of that good stuff. PPD, some kind of god on the micro, but top lane again. 3-3 is there with the level 3 wild axes. Chipping away at Pasha and making sure that Enchantress just cannot stay in this lane for now.
Well, Enchantress has untouchable level 4, but with the axes, they can actually get a kill. They have burst damage from Illuminate. When the Primal Roar is up, there's going to be 2 axes, Illuminate plus a Roar, more than enough to actually take her down. Nikes again in the trouble. Nice move there, though.
They can deny the creep, though. They're sending it back.
Send him back.
Okay, they made like 3 plays at once there, right? They're trying to deny the creep, send the creep back, and then eventually they just bait out the retreat. Now up top lane, the Roar in, and 3-3 gets a kill onto Roger. Turn it back onto Pasha, but the Impetus shots and the Thunderstrike too much for the Beastmaster to handle this time. With a quick glimpse, Solo's caught another one. Zai goes for the TP, and he will succeed. They know that he cannot be killed. Good play. This time VP makes something happen on the opposite side of the map to get themselves a kill on the Beastmaster, who is, by all means, one of the big targets in this game. Naga and Lifestealer bottom lane have to deal with Pycat's ulti, though, about to wear off, but he's already done a decent amount of damage here to the tier 1, and with Chen's army arriving, maybe even more pressure onto the Lifestealer coming their way.
They should use Queen of Pain. Queen of Pain does not have a TP. She's level 7, level 4. Scream of Pain, no points in ulti yet. But they were diving tier 1 towers, and she should be the one TPing and getting the return kills.
There seems to be a very strong-headed approach here from no one. He knows that the TA has, having a very good game. CCNC clearing out these creep waves. The Scream build for me, it kind of indicates that you want to stay in lane, right? You want to spam out waves, you want to stay in lane, get that farm. Nose level in Sonic Wave means you're not really looking for kills or pickoffs right now. No one, maybe a chip on his shoulder with CCNC doing so well, wants to turn the tables somewhat.
Pasha is so far ahead, level 9. Phase drums already, wants to go for Hands of Midas, which is a good choice in my opinion, because of all the Chen creeps. He can take 2 actually, one with Enchant, one with Midas.
Well, CCNC, misses uphill. They still get the kill as 3-3 has rotated in. Being sent back by the Chen here, and it looks like he'll be fine. Oh, the Thunderstrike does actually kill him off. Close. Level 2 with a send back there, not enough.
What if Solo gets another MVP of this tournament?
A double Mercedes?
Yeah, double Mercedes, man.
They just give him a factory. Say, we're spending enough giving you these cars, 3 times a year or whatever it is here. Just take an entire delivery line.
Worthy tribute.
Nyx is so poor, man. He's sitting on Power Threads and Magic Wand. Queen of Pain. She has an ulti ready. She's gonna need to pop it. 1
charges from Pycat. Not used. Oh, that's Ramses. Never mind.
Yeah, you can't use Ramses 1 charges if you're DK. Yeah,
it's an interesting thing there.
Yeah, that's a bug.
Oh, dearie me. Illuminate to the low ground. Not really what Zai was looking for. Roger bounced back down. But VP coming out and making some decent headway here, finding a couple of core pickoffs, getting no one into this game. Now with the double damage rune up, he's got himself double null treads, moving into that Lincoln sphere. Doesn't look like he's got a veil or anything queued up just yet.
They don't have any magic damage besides Disruptor ulti, so it's pretty pointless to go for Veil, and the only way they can kill her is with Dragonite Stun or Beastmaster Roar, so Lincoln is a natural choice.
Well, PPD, speaking of Disruptor ulti, tanks it with his creeps, kills off the poor little Disruptor. Will lose a couple of trolls there, but brings his Centaur back to him. And Pycat, what are we looking at now? Going for a Drums himself on that Dragon Knight.
Yeah, drums seems to be the most popular item these days. You can build it on any hero.
Any role, any hero.
Yeah, any time. Like 5th item drums. No, I didn't see that, but it'll probably be a garbage. But it's still a good item. Can you actually still recharge by purchasing the recipe?
As far as I know, that
I don't think I've
changed.
ever seen someone do that.
Me neither. I mean, it happened when the item kind of was relatively new. We used to see like gyrocopters rebuy it from time to time, but it's been a long while since then as the glimpse back onto Pycat should secure a kill here, but with the rotations from OpTic coming in, they might be able to turn this around. A blinding light into the Illuminate is good. Pycat kept alive with the Hand of God, and Queen of Pain will drop. Ramsey is chased down now by the Beastmaster, but with lacking control, they will not be able to secure any additional kills. Now CNC trapped in the river and snared And impetus shots from up high. Ramses rages, moves on forward, but Chen coming in with a double centaur. Looking for the stomp, but the send back on the TA will get her to Fountain. Now Pasha, he's hungry, thirsty for blood. He wants to kill someone, anyone, just give me a kill. Glimpse there onto PPD, drags him into the river, but deep in. Pasha taken out of the game with quick rotations in. OpTic are cruising in this game.
Yeah, they can actually go for tier 2 tower as well. DK still has 4 and 47 seconds. I love this part, man. You can just see how many seconds is left.
The sad thing is, they still haven't fixed that thing where all of the observers see it. We still have the light of heaven pinging shrines. So VP, kind of similar to what we saw in our first best of one, right, with Team Effect, the Naga Disruptor combos. We are yet to see Song into Static Storm, but that's ready now. They're going to smoke and look to utilize this. The Sonic Wave is also up, and Lifestealer will continue farming bottom lane with the Radiance queued up as expected. He will be going towards that build. Feels he's created enough space for himself to be able to warrant going into the Radiance. He's not that far behind net worth-wise, 13, 1400 at 14 minutes. Isn't too bad. Definitely needs a way to catch up as the TA has a full blink. Heading into that Deso now, 3-3 with a Necro 1.
Can you have half of the blink?
Yeah, you definitely can.
With 1,000 gold, that's
Just
half of the blink, right?
1100, yeah. That's pretty good. Fuck you.
Ench actually has Maelstrom queued up. I guess one of the reasons is that she wants to go through DK's Dragon Blood because it's magical damage and he has a lot of natural armor and it kind of deals damage to all these creeps from Beastmaster and Chen.
TA Refraction as well to some extent, I guess.
It burns too with attack if it procs.
We'll see how that works out. Solo has been scouted, and a roar into Illuminate again. Very quick securing of the kill. TPs from VP coming through to the mid lane, but Pasha scouted. PPD runs. Cannot get in front with the Queen of Pain illusions just yet. The body blocks will start to come out as Lifestealer pops his head through to try and kill off some of these lovely little creeps as well. So PPD loses his entire army, but top lane, the tier 2 is also dropping. You were mentioning this kind of tower control, the pressure coming in from OpTic. Zai, though, has been picked off here, it looks like. With another punch from no one, they'll secure the kill to turn back onto Naga, though. No Song, no setup, and Pasha has to do this the old-fashioned way. We'll take a look at CCNC's positioning. Still looking for a potential swing, but we'll go for the TP now, realizing his team is fully out, doesn't need to stick around any longer.
Yeah, VP is in a bad spot right now. They have Nyx, who's far away from Relic, 500 gold. Even when he finishes that Radiance, they might lose all tier 2 towers and the Ro8, and at that point it's gonna be super hard for them to come back. Also, Queen of Pain has no items whatsoever. That's just the Perseverance and the Power Treads, which feels so weird. With the Lincoln Sphere, she can play more aggressive, as I already mentioned. They have Chakra Magic, which she wants to get rid of, and these two stuns, Beastmaster, Roar, and Dragonite stun. That's the only way she dies.
VP trying to toy with the DK in mid lane, throwing glimpses, thunder strikes, impetus shots, but Pycat does not care. Still very healthy. Forms back in the jungle, moving towards his BKB. CCNC, Deso very nearly done, getting recalled over towards the Keeper of the Light. Get that farm, get those creeps, get that gold, CNC. Well, happily take it.
I'm not an expert, but I think you're missing one C in his name.
CCNC?
Yeah.
Yeah. CNC? TNT?
DND?
DND. I'll just make it up as I go along,
BKB.
That's what we all do.
That's enough.
What about no one?
What about him?
Noon.
Noon.
That's his real name.
Chinese name, Noon. I love how Chinese names have meaning.
Name.
No, they have meaning behind numbers. Every letter has some kind of meaning. Jack, I miss you.
Some kind of...
I miss Chinese memes, man. Chinese memes are on a complete different level than European memes.
I mean, European memes...
NA memes, whatever.
Like, the pinnacle of our memes have like maybe 4 or 5 layers.
Yeah, but this is...
Chinese memes have like 100 layers.
Corrosive skin. Like, he has like 10 layers. Visage layers.
Like an
let's
onion.
call them.
Visage is like an onion. Right?
Yeah.
Lots and lots of layers. Ramses, Relic done. Radiant's coming. Disruptor goes for some warding down towards the bottom lane. No one's coming to defend the tier 1, so it looks like VP should be able to get this one done. As OpTic all move towards that top part of the map, securing the area around Roshan, you know, very important for them with that TA Deso done. They can clear through the Roshan, get the Aegis pretty quickly. Also, relatively important for the TA to have that. And there will be Pycat moving into the pit. Arcane Rune for 3-3. Pops out his Necrobooks immediately there. Still holding onto the Roar as they see Solo there. And they also see the TP from Roger. They've got full vision. They're now going to see the Lifestealer coming in, but it's going to be the Roar coming through the Song now to try and turn it back. Illuminate will not land the Storm after the Song onto the TA. This is a good play. Templar Assassin brought down immediately. 33 will follow immediately after. The buyback from CCNC comes out as well. Pycat still battling in the middle of 5 here for Virtus.pro. 4-stab forward, right-click down, and there's the Maelstrom proc going to work. Virtus.pro chasing forward, PPD in all sorts of trouble as CCNC buys back to farm jungle, can't even get into the fight. The shrine is big, but the kills are bigger. Virtus.pro now full control over Roshan, over the rest of the map. It's 3 from OpTic Gaming, just dead to rights.
Yeah, this Radiance and Lifestealer burns through the refraction, a missed chance for TA and DK. DK, okay, Beastmaster went for Disruptor. If he could have ulted Naga Siren, I think that that fight would have been completely different. Like, Naga just disrupts the whole fight.
Yeah. Static Storm onto the TA came out. Everything got very messy from there. But the buyback from CCNC, is that a big deal? He loses a bit of gold?
He loses gold. It was justified, the buyback. They wanted to take a fight still, and it's always good to buy back if the Roche is open up with the heroes like TA. They're still gonna go for it. They know the Song is down, so they can take a fight.
Well, it looks like Virtus.pro have a good idea of what's happening again. Ramses will lead the charge with the Medallion Radiance. Trying to take down this little Hellbear Smasher. 6 HP, but into the pit they go. Static Storm catches onto 2. DK and Beastmaster inside that kinetic field, and down goes the Beastmaster. 33 is gone. CCNC needs to get out of here. Refraction and Mel, they're both up. A glimpse back into the pit with the Queen of Pain jumping forward. No one. Blinding lit outside of the pit. Roshan nearly dead, but the bash. Go! Solo gets the kill. CCNC, that's a dieback technically for him as the Aegis. Taken by no one, but killed by the Radiant.
This was so messy. Again, they didn't have a sleep on Naga Siren, but they were way too deep into Roche Pit. Again, I'm not sure if Chen was not near. The sandbag came late.
Radiant's middle tower is
I'm
under
not
attack.
sure.
This Radiance is doing God's work against DK and the TA.
It really is an amazing item, you know, before their BKBs come up, which is still quite some time. It allows Lifestealer to farm, but it has been very good from Ramses to catch up from the laning stage he had.
Well, that's Ramses. Like, a lot of the time he gets pressured in the lane, but manages to come back. Once he finishes the Solar Crest for the extra burst damage, I don't see them actually killing this Lifestealer anymore.
OpTic, do you feel maybe they've tried to overplay things a little bit here, force the issue a little too much into the Disruptor and the Naga Siren?
Yeah, if they caught Naga Siren, this game could have a different approach right now.
Now, technically playing from behind, 13-18, 2k net worth lead for Virtus.pro as they've swung this one very nicely around from what looks like a 6,500, 6,000.
Oh, that graph looks so
lead.
good.
It really
for
does.
Virtus.pro.
And experience-wise, even better, heading down towards that 7,500 mark. CCNC, the quick blink Deso now looks average as the Chen medallion only. They'll look to potentially smoke up again. Dire scanning in the right area though, knowing that the ancient farming something that OpTic will look for. But there's a full Hurricane Pike now for the Enchantress, closing in on level 20, where she'll start picking up ancients potentially here on this VP side. Naga has the full Meteor Hammer. Solo, you know, he's got 1,000 gold saved up. That's pretty much a perfect game from him. As Ramses very quickly moving into his next items. He's got that Solar Crest done. Virtus.pro moving as this unit now. They'll know that there's a couple down towards bottom, as they'll show on the wave in a second. There might be a full swing from top to bottom though here, as they do start recalling people in.
Yeah, their OpTic will need to just try to avoid fights until they get BKBs on those two cores. TA needs it badly, so does DK against the mischance from the Radiance and the Solar Crest. It's pretty impossible to actually hit the Nikes.
And all of a sudden...
Yeah, Queen of Pain with Aegis as well. So they should just dodge a fight. I don't think they can win a fight at this point, so they will probably need to give up on those tier 2 towers on mid and top.
Solo playing a tight rope walk game there. TP's down to bottom, scouted by the Hawk, but no jump.
It feels so weird. It says Hawk, but it's actually an owl, right?
Yeah. That is a bit weird. But it's also like the boar. I mean, this one's a boar, right? But there's animations where it's like a dog or a whatever
It's not
else.
a dog, it's actually a boar.
This one's actually a dog. This one's actually a boar, yeah. I think this is the only boar cosmetic for the boar. Because there's the other one that looks like a slug, right? There's like a slug boar for the Beastmaster that has 2 legs.
Watch more National Geographic, Jerry.
Jerry.
What? Jerry.
All of a sudden, my name's Jerry.
Shut up, Jerry.
Did you watch Parks and Rec?
No, what is it?
Parks and Recreation. It's an American TV show. It's kind of like in the style of The Office. You know, it's like
I love Office.
It's like an Office, but like a different Office, right? And there's a character in that whose name I think his name is Gary, but they call him Jerry because they don't know his real name. And then every season they change his name to like Jerry or Gerald or Jareth or some other stuff. You're doing the same thing to me. I'm getting memed by Lacoste real hard.
T-Bone. From now on, you're gonna address me T-Bone.
No.
Don't you remember that Seinfeld episode?
Nope.
Nope? Alright.
Dear me.
Full meter hammer on Naga Siren, plus mana boots as well. So the combo that they have, they still didn't pull it off because Naga, of course, didn't have the meter hammer. It's hard to do it without.
Well, this is their timing. It's honestly so interesting to see how VP have gone from being sort of average in that first 15, 16 minutes of the game, all of a sudden, top 3 net worth of their 3 core heroes. No one now with Lincolns moving very quickly into the Shiver's Guard. And OpTic, they have been able to kind of fall back on this split push game, which was a pretty obvious option for them when they open up their draft with a Kotl Beastmaster. They have that global power to be able to shove out these waves and force VP back to try and defend the side lanes. They have to be very careful to not get caught out in a big 5v5 fight unless they have vision over their opponent's OpTic. And right now, they're the ones being hunted, it feels like. PPD and Pycat down in this bottom side of the map in the Radiant jungle. They are being chased down. If they can get vision of the DK or the Chen, they're hiding in the trees and they barely escape. Really nice placement there of the heroes. And little hidey holes to get away.
It's always a problem with these lineups that you need to have right momentum. Like with this semi-push, this is like all-in push, but they still have a decent late game potential, but it falls off. So if you don't hit the right timing, then you're in a really bad position. Like that's a full Shiva's Guard on Queen of Pain. Aegis is gone. Nikes with the Yasha building into SNY, which will give him the tankiness and the move speed. They don't have enough burst for this Nikes.
It definitely doesn't feel like they do. Especially with MKBs being so far away.
The only way for OpTic to win this fight is with good sandbags and recall. They have 2 BKBs now, so that's gonna help a lot. Also, TA has Bloodthorn queued up, nowhere near it, but still, it's gonna be the best item she can get against all this mischance from the Nikes.
Yeah.
So they have a good kiting capability with Blinding Light, Sandbag, Force Staff on Kotl.
But again, it's going to be one of those things where they need to set up for these fights, right? Get vision of the Naga, try and blow up Roger as quickly as they can. He's holding the gem, he holds the song, and that Meteor Hammer, which all sets up so beautifully here for Solo and the rest of the team. 3-3 continues this split push out. He's bought himself a full Vlad's here, so not going for the Necro 3, no Blink, no Shadow Blade, no...
Nah, he's just going like all the semi cookie cutter items.
Just shove.
Yeah.
All he wants to do is shove. Ramses, open wounds moving in. 3-3 doesn't have a TP scroll, so with the send back, Chen will save his life. PPD just offset there.
Yeah, they have really good split pushing capabilities as well on OpTic, so they should use that with Chen sending back, recall, refraction plus a blink from TA. It's hard to take her down.
But look how quickly VP move. They knew this was coming even before it happened. They TP'd no one up here to try and pressure the DK. Now with the Song of the Siren, Roger, well, he's being focused down. The BKBs of CCNC and PikeCat working out wonders. With this big splash damage coming in, maybe they can fight, but it is Ramses absolutely ripping apart the DK with a Sonic Wave there. No one will blink back, out and away, and TA has been left to her own devices. Zai can try, but I don't think there's a way out of this for CCNC as she's chased down. TA could maybe go for a meld play here. Reveal, though, the gem is available for the Queen of Pain. Dragged back into the field, and down she goes. OpTic Gaming, they got Mind Red there. Virtus.pro, they rotated people in as Zai was recalling, as they were shifting up towards top. VP knew as soon as that play happens bottom lane with a send back, there's going to be a play top lane, and they were prepared.
They used everything they had on Naga. Their BKBs dropped to, let's say, 3 seconds, and after that, when Radiance kind of starts to kick in, plus they don't have an answer for Queen of Pain. They have a gem as well, so they can see Templar Assassin, and they're gonna devour everything. Ro8 is gonna be up pretty soon. Could be up in 30 seconds. PPD, they found him. Do they have anything? Stun? No, that's a long channeling time on that meme hammer.
Unfortunate, hey. Well, that is one thing they lack. That nice guaranteed disable. Pasha. Look at that, full Mjolnir. This Enchantress is getting ridiculous. Level 20 went for the 100 untouchable slow over the Ancients, and I guess against like right clickers.
No point because Chen is classic position 5. If they had Chen position 4, he would have Ag on him, so it could be viable then.
Oh, no one. Scouting out Zai here, but gets the Lincolns popped. Raw will come out. The Static Storm's good, but CCNC. I keep missing that C now because of you. I hate it, absolutely. Solo Ghost Scepter's up. We'll try and run away, but CCNC will catch with a Meld Strike, and there we have it.
At least you see your mistake.
Yes, thank you very much. Now, though, Roger, he's in here on with a 2-man Meteor Hammer. Now splits out with the Illusions, 3-3. In a spot of bother with the DK blink forward. With the Shadow Blade, does actually get in on top of the Naga Siren, but the missed chance, he doesn't get the hits in. PikeCat chased down now as PPD ripped apart up to the north. The stun back will be able to hold the Lifestealer at bay, and there's the Invis with the recall, getting DK back to safety. But again, OpTic, they set themselves up for a good-looking fight, but Virtus.pro's snappy reactions, they always seem ready.
Yeah, Queen of Pain had to buy back there. She picked up a DD. Ro8 is up. I'm not sure if they want to take this fight on side of OpTic. Everyone is alive besides Chen, but they don't have DK form for, what, 20 seconds. Yeah, that's not going to be ready for a fight. So Queen of Pain is going to get the Aegis. They lost the gem, though. Gem on Beastmaster right now.
So it is. Sneaky 33. Catapult moves in. BKB from CCNC very early there, but Roshan already dead. Solo playing forward, looking for a potential glimpse as no one blinks forward. Zai will dip back into the jungle with that wonderful movement speed, and the Force Staff to go. Still being cut across here by no one. Clearing the wave. Zai sent back by the Chen, fortunately. But again, the side lane split push. OpTic, they're doing a reasonably good job kind of drawing VP back, making sure that every move VP make going forward, they have to kind of take a step back, address these waves coming in towards their base, and slow down just a little bit. So it buys time for this Bloodthorn, buys time for the DK to get in towards his Silver Edge, which is going to be reasonably good here up against the Enchantress, and potentially even that Lifestealer. But it feels like a losing battle at this moment.
They should just continue to split push with their heroes. He's gonna lose a gem. No sandback, no recall this time.
He will die. Gem reclaimed. They've also found CCNC over here at the sidelines. Sentry on the floor means the TA is also dead.
Yeah, that anti-Tinker ward really paying off. It's when they have these kind of split pushing lineups, this ward always helps. They even placed a sentry so they can de-ward if they placed it.
Oh, Zai. Full staffing away. And Ramses, again, just playing so very aggressively here. We'll get hit by the blinding light, so down to 250 mana there, but glimpse very quickly in onto Zai, trapped in the kinetic field, and oh yeah, oh nom nom, Ramsey says thank you very much. No buyback on your Kotl, no buyback on your TA. Don't mind if I go and hit your tier 3s then. In on top of the ramp they go, Solo, Roger, and Ramses. Now no one joins into the battle as well. They've got the Meteor Hammer ready to try and take down this tier 3 if they need it, but I guess with the right clicks from Enchantress, Lifestealer, and Cop, they don't really need it just yet. Hold it for that song play. They've got all the ultis they need, and in fact, they're going to go for tier 4s here, Lacoste. They're going to try and close this one out. VP feeling very strong, 33 minutes in, trying to end this game incredibly quickly.
Yeah, I don't see OpTic actually winning these fights. You're stuck in your own base with a Chancery playing with the -1 hero. They have Kotl, who is dead for 26 seconds. They still have enough time to actually kill them and take the throne. DK already popped the form.
TA is alive now. CCNC trying to splash back through the creeps with the Sire Blades, but 33 gets the roar off just before dying. They will try and munch him down, and no one will secure it. But here comes the song. Trap out the TA with a BKB. Make sure she's the only target available. Static Storm onto the chain means that the DK is left high and dry all alone. Pycat will fall, and so will PPD. Chased with the impetus shots down into the fountain, dragged back into the waiting arms of Ramses, and surely, even through these buybacks, this will be game. Roger gets taken down, but Zai, Pycat, and PPD cannot defend the throne, so it is over. Virtus.pro come back in a wonderful fashion to take that best of 1 off of OpTic. But OpTic had such a great start, Lacoste.
Yeah, they were building into these small items, drums. Everyone had the 4 staff. Beastmaster had a really complete free farm in the lane, and they wanted to close this game early on, but that fight, I'll mention it again, when they try to go for Disruptor instead of Naga Siren, I think that changed the game. If they took out Naga Siren, they could have taken the fight and maybe get the Ro8 and just roll from there. But I love the build on Lifestealer. He was pressured in the lane, got that Radiance up. Once he gets the Solar Crest, it's pretty impossible to take him down against these. With these heroes, Chen doesn't do anything. Pycat with the Dragonite, CCNC on TA really don't deal damage to him. No burst potential whatsoever. This lineup from OpTic is good when you hit the right timing, but if they just go S5 and push you, especially if Keeper of the Light gets caught when you're defending the base, then the game is over.
It was really on a knife's edge, right? One of those kind of coin flip moments. That 22-minute fight to the east of Roshan on that kind of radiant, ancient high ground. The Radiance comes into play. We knew the Radiance was coming, right? We see the treads. We pretty much know the Radiance is going to be there unless something goes drastically wrong and he's forced to go back into Armlet. And once he had that item, really, it was spectacular from VP. But OpTic maybe just pressing a little bit too far with their advantage, getting a little bit ahead of themselves. You think about it the other way, if they had won that fight, if they had that Roshan, the Aegis, you could see that as potentially being, 25-minute GG and them just winning the game, stomping through VP.
Well, that's the problem with these lineups. You need to play it perfectly. If enemy is splitting you, if the one item comes, let's say Meteor Hammer, it just changes the whole game. So you need to have everything done at the right moment.
Well, that is our second best of the 1 done for today. We will be heading over to Secret up against Infamous in just a little bit. So a short break from us. We'll get ourselves some lunch as we can smell the food, and we have been able to for quite some time. Been tummy grumbling, but we'll take a break, guys. Go get yourselves a drink, a snack, or whatever else you want to do, and we'll be back with our next game coming up in just a little bit.